the fear. Here comes the monster waiting in there. Heart rate is rising, some call it scared. You'll feel the chill start raising your hairs. It's too late, you're here now. I hope that you're prepared, cause there's no getting out. You can feel the energy, dark like a cloud. Electrified by panic, terror and doubt. Don't cross me or you'll learn quick the hard way that I'm not one to mess with. I got a mind and that mind's full of mean tricks. I'll plant a seed in your red where the fear will stick. And I'll haunt your nightmares. Little did you know that I like fear. When you turn, I'll be right there. You should be afraid, you should be scared. We're all alone, you're on your own. It's you and me, who's going home? Look up, cause I'm right here. Welcome to a real life nightmare. Slash all your dreams. A demon preys on the weak. You better watch out for me. Mistakes were made, you will see. You should've never crossed me, cause now you'll never stop me. Revenge was my calling. Now you're a dead man walking. And I'll haunt your nightmares. Little did you know that I like fear. When you turn, I'll be right there. You should be afraid, you should be scared. We're all alone, you're on your own. It's you and me, who's going home? Look up, cause I'm right here. Welcome to a real life nightmare.
What was it? Let's see. What was it? Huh? Did you hear something? What was it? Dixie, get your butt out of that. Oh, she got stuck. You get scared? This is our little plunder palace. Got lots of toys. Kids have a blast out here. Lights ain't on right now, but we've got a light on every corner of this house when it gets dark.
Surprisingly, we didn't install them.
No. They were here when we got here.
Welcome to our home of terrifying...
Listen. What the hell was that?
Did you hear the ringing? Is that where you were?
Yeah. So a little bit of a backstory on our property. It's been strange from the very beginning. See, Mom and Dad bought this house about 12 years ago, and they bought it at an auction at the courthouse square. It was a foreclosure that bought it for, Dad bid it $1 over what was owed on it. We'll just put it that way. And he got the house, and we got the keys to the house. Like you may have heard me talk about the old house. The old house is literally right over the hill. And when we were moving things to this house, when we got here, the people who owned it before just upped and left everything. Everything. Their clothes, their cars, their dogs, their guns, their jewelries, their doctor's degrees, everything. They said that it was supposedly a bad marriage, but they didn't fight over the property or the assets. I mean, there was a brand new Land Rover parked here, and they just upped and left everything. I'd say it was vacant for a while because the poor dogs were pretty thin. Somebody had been feeding them. I believe the neighbors were feeding the dogs, but...
Were they trapped inside?
No, but there's chew marks where they chewed holes in the doors to get inside to get something to eat. But, yeah, they upped and left everything. And Cody was out here, and he brought something to my attention that I completely forgot about. There was all these weird markings on the shed. We painted over it, but they were like demonic looking ritual paintings on the walls. Like there was like pagan, and then there was bad stuff, so we painted over it. We scraped it off there and painted over it. It was pretty creepy. So I think maybe that might be one of the reasons there was a lot of paranormal stuff that goes on here too. I've had people ask me, is that real? Did that really happen?
Me too.
Yeah, it did. My grandma wasn't a liar.
I had people ask me that too. Is that real? Did you really have those experiences? I was like, why would I do it?
Why would you make it up? Why would you do that to embarrass yourself?
Yeah, why would I sit there and say all those stories just to make myself look like an idiot,
Yeah, no, I'm making it up.
Yeah. I'll say you're rednecks.
The moral of the story is, when someone has a Bigfoot encounter, they don't come forward, they don't talk about it, because they get ridiculed. I got a little crazy. He said he's seen a 10-foot tall monkey walking around the woods, beating on the side of his house. I used to be that guy.
So was I.
I used to, biggest, baddest thing never walked around the woods with a gun. Gonna go out there and shoot me a deer. Wasn't nothing out there. Whatever's out there in the daytime's out there in the dark. Till you see something, and then it's different. It's completely different. Like the other night when I tried to do this solo investigation, I'm not posting that. I didn't make it far. Not doing it.
Remember that time I left and you were asleep on the couch? And you called me about like 2 o'clock, freaking out.
I didn't know you left. Woke up to something screaming.
Yep.
The first thing I did was, "Where's Brittany?" And I didn't know you'd left. I didn't know you went home. That freaked me out.
You called me and you were like, "Where are you?" It's like, "I'm at home." And then I heard the screaming through the phone.
Said that time Dad and Shelby had the Tahoe parked right here, and they were changing the power steering or the water pump or something. I don't remember what they were changing. They were changing something on it, and they heard something hollering, screaming, and Dad thought it was Mom. So he thought she had fell or something. He ran up to the house and got up the back porch steps and got to the back door. I realized it wasn't coming from the house. It was coming from across the river. And then Shelby said that they could hear it screaming, running down through the woods, breaking branches, running down through there, running down through there. And sad because it got down here and it quit. Like somebody's over there and quit screaming. And I went inside and then finished putting the tile back together the next day.
Hello? Hello? Where are you?
Hello.
What do you mean help you?
There's something walking around my camper.
Alright, Adam's on it. He's on his way.
Really?
Yes, I got it on video.
Alright, he's coming.
Alright, get this off there. Dad!
It's screaming.
Big screamer. I wanna go.
How? Give me that. That. Go get my pistol.
Where's it at?
Keep recording. Shelby needs your help. Something's over walking around his camper.
Door's locked.
Where's the microphone?
You have it in your pocket.
Oh,
You took it from me. My phone?
I dropped the fuzzy thing somewhere. The phone's inside. Put this on. We'll get pulled over. Better slow down. Which way to go? Can't hear. Any footprints?
Maybe Sabrina can listen. That was Linda running from my car.
Huh?
Yeah.
The fuck? Wow.
That was pretty close.
Put your foot next to that, Shelby.
I got moccasins.
I heard coughing. Somebody's over here coughing.
Big old footprint. Stomp on the ground real hard.
Still very deep.
Oh, got water in it.
Sorry, looks like so stupid. I heard Linda.
Huh?
She might be right. I seen her run from the car.
Run?
Yeah. Not like.
Alright, what happened?
Well, we heard it yelling, or whatever it was. Is a, I don't, holler really. It's the wife there. Hey. Oh, and so I put it on record and started recording. Sent it to you. You never messaged
I was
back.
in the middle of filming a video.
And then I called you guys and I put it on. Well, actually, no. Before that, I put it on recording and I was listening still. And you could hear it walking on the freshly good.
The fresh gravel you just put down for a new house?
Yeah. And made Sabrina come here and listen, make sure it wasn't crazy. And she says, "Call your brother." Here we are.
Bring the pew-pews. You'll have to plug your phone in to my computer so I can get a good quality of it. Almost, I was actually going to come over earlier and put my audio recorder out, gosh dang it.
Sure.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
That's the same noise.
Listen. Hear that?
Yep.
The game camera didn't get nothing?
But they usually take forever. First thing I thought of when you said that was,
Did you say your name?
first thing I thought of when you said,
You heard that? No, if you hear whistles and you're in the woods, that means you have BDD, borderline personality disorder. You had to do it. BPD.
That's why you don't go in the woods alone, so that way you can verify you're not the only one that heard it.
what's it mean when you're in the woods, you see fog walk across the woods?
That's called the wind is gonna go.
That's freaky shit. I've seen that a lot. The fog walk
Spirit.
across through the woods, and I thought, I don't know what it is. It scares me.
Pretty quiet last 2 weeks. It's been pretty quiet here. It's warming back up. You don't need your coat during the day, but you definitely need it at night. It gets down in the 40s. Cat just give me a heart attack. So paranoid being out here by myself. I don't like it. The other night, something kind of strange happened here. Brittany come out here on the back porch. It had just got done raining really hard. And she come out here, she was smoking a cigarette, and she could hear what she thought was talking only about 50 yards from the house here. I mean, it was really close. It was so close that she could almost make out what... She said it was a male and a female. Like the tone of the voice, she thought it was a man and a girl. I was inside the house. The first thing she thinks is somebody's in the yard. And it's 12:30 at night, so they can't be up to any good. So she texted me. She's kind of just crouched down. And she texted me, "Get out here, bring your flashlight. I think somebody's in the yard." So I run out here with my flashlight. And I'm like, "Where?" You know, I run out here. Where? She's over here. And it's right next to the river. I'm like, okay, you know. So I start out, you know, I light it up, you know, I got my flashlight on. And I started over there that way. I'm looking for these two crackheads is what I'm thinking. Somebody's in my yard. They're going to be stealing my stuff. And we can go, you know, I'm going to confront these people and run them off. And I got about halfway across the yard and I realized that if somebody was out here in the middle of nowhere, in the pitch black darkness, after a big rainstorm, they would at least have a flashlight. And there was no talking, there was no flashlights, and I couldn't see anything. And they had to be close enough to hear them talking over all the raindrops that were still, you know, like dripping out of the trees. And she said it was close enough you could hear them walking, like the splashing in the mud, because it's muddy over there. And like I said, I got halfway across the yard where it clicked and thought, this might not be people. So I come back up here to the house like, there's no one over there. You know, they'd had to have a flashlight. So the next day I go down through there, you know, looking for footprints in the mud, and there was no footprints. That crap is weird. Makes you sound like a crazy person when you say stuff like that. Now I can hear him walking in the mud. I can hear him talking. They didn't leave any footprints. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but the owls are going crazy. Woohoo! Woohoo! I'm not very good at doing owl calls. Miguel from Sasquatch Theory is really good at it. Anyway, what I was getting at is maybe they weren't that close to the house. Maybe they were on the other side of the river, and maybe it was chatter she was hearing. And you know, those things talk, you know, they do that so loud that they sound a lot closer than they really are. But I couldn't find a footprint, and there was no light, so there was nobody there. Not on this side of the river, it's impossible. The only prints down through there are While I'm on the subject of owls, these things have been known to mimic other animals, and I do think that they try to mimic owls. I'm telling you, there's an owl out here that sounds like 800-pound owl. I mean, this sucker's loud. And I've heard so many owls living out here in the middle of nowhere that you know what an owl sounds like.